Start stream. And that should connect. Bada bing, bada boom, and it's connected. And now we're in. That's going. That's great. So now, if I refresh this, it is live. Going. That's great. So now we are in. If I refresh this, it is live. We are in. Someone is liking things. And I cannot tell who. Alright. Well, whoever you are, welcome. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever gone live on YouTube. Usually I stream on Twitch. But I feel like that's kind of for naught, considering that I have 0 followers on Twitch. And all the followers here on YouTube. So I'm going to go to start streaming on YouTube as I work on our What the Heck Is Anyway. You are able to chat, right? Because like if you weren't, you wouldn't be able to tell me. No live chat's enabled. All right, cool. Bada bing, bada boom. That's all here. Good. I think. Okay. Yeah. I know you can't see it, but I'm not staring at the What the Heck Is Anywhere master list that you are. I am looking at the YouTube Studio Editor, trying to figure out how this works. I know I said I'd be live in 5, and then it took 20 minutes for me to get this thing started. So I apologize. But again, I've never done this before. Let's take a little look-see here. If you can chat, please do so just at least once, I guess, so I can see that it's working. And might as well let me know in the process whether or not you guys can hear the music. Because I do have the Sonic Lo-Fi live stream, the 24/7 one, running. I'm not sure if it's going through. So we're going to find out. Now what makes me nervous about is whether or not this is listed as made for kids for some reason, because it seemed to be when I first started, and I was very confused as to why. So if we go to live, let's just go ahead and X out of YouTube, come back in, because I know it says I did not select made for kids. I specifically selected not made for kids, because your channel is not allowed to grow if it's made for kids. So let's see here. I'm on the mobile part now, and it doesn't say that. Phenomenal. All right, that's great. That's awesome. That's super cool. So we are good to go now. Boom 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 parta parta boom 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 boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start. Hello, love your Sonic content. Hope you're making more soon. We're making some right now, bud. With that, let us begin. So, we of the day, we're going to be talking about Jet the Hawk. So this is my master list. These are all the characters that I have off the top of my head. We have most of the main ones. Hopefully all the main ones. And then before we hit IDW, we have Babylon Rogues, which we'll handle today. Tikal, the Hooligans, Deadly Six. I am dreading the Deadly Six. I hate the Deadly Six, man. Lost World is one of my least favorite games of all time, let alone Sonic. And then Honey the Cat. Which is A main series character. Yeah, she's a classic character, but I mean, it's still the canon line. Although I'd say she's way more famous in Archie. She's not an Archie character, because she's from Sonic the Fighters. Right, so same as Being the Duck from the Hooligans. Hello! Wegamens. Hello, Tion. I hope I'm saying that right, Tion. What's going on, y'all? I'm actually going to swap my chat from my phone to my iPad, just to make things a bit bigger for my eyes. Because I got these teeny tiny text on my phone, and it's impossible to read anything. So while I do that, question for y'all. What is your favorite character? My favorite character is Silver the Hedgehog. Has been, probably always will be. Or I should say at least for the main lineup. I think my favorite in total is probably Styx. I really like Styx. I think she's hysterically funny. Silver! Silver! Yippee! Love Silver. Silver's phenomenal. So, the Babylon Rogues. Let's see here. Where to start talking about them. So, usually what I do is I have 2 paragraphs, probably Knuckles, Shadow Genesis. Knuckles is good. I will talk about Knuckles in my hot takes video, which is still coming, I promise. It's just doing one short a day with like a backlog. Or Metal Sonic. Yeah. Metal Sonic's great. My point still stands with the Black Doom thing. Were you the one telling me about how the fade-in on that video doesn't exist? Because I apologize. I can't re-upload the video now that it's been... Well, I don't want to. I think it's best if I just leave it and then make sure it doesn't happen again. Versus taking the whole thing down, losing the prospects of that video and then putting it up again. So I apologize. But the Babylon Rogues, which we're working on now, will have a fade-in, which is great. So, let me just talk about Knuckles or Metal Sonic for a second, because I like the both of them a lot. Metal Sonic, I feel like, is used too frequently. I mean, Black Doom didn't appear because of Time Eater. Oh, that. Okay. I definitely saw that you responded to that. But I didn't check. Let me read your thing here. There's only 2 possible reasons. Black Doom. The Dark Beginnings extra short is literally all the evidence that Black Doom grew Numbani. Black Doom literally appeared in Shadow's way in the arc before Time Eater. Black Doom literally says that white space and sentinels and temporal anomaly that his plans have accelerated, arrive at forces consume the world. White space is simply a pleasant surprise to Black Doom. Oh! Well... I mean, Black Doom didn't appear because of Time Eater. Yeah. Alright. I might have to heavily edit Black Dooms then. I know Rouge had the same thing, where I was kind of just like talking off the dome, and I mentioned that that Rouge worked for Gun only after the whole Eggman thing, because I just hadn't played Adventure 2 in so long, I forgot about all that. And I pinned a post. I was like, hey, by the way, this isn't true. Here's what actually happened. My bad. The more you know. The more you know. So, that's that. Anyway, Metal Sonic and Knuckles. Let me finally say that. I have a video coming out long form called Sonic Hot Takes. I asked for a bunch of hot takes, and I got a lot. A lot of response on both Twitter and here, which is nice. And one of them was about Knuckles and how good Knuckles is. And I got a hot take about Knuckles. I think Knuckles should be... Both he and Metal Sonic, honestly, should be used less. And my reasoning is... Knuckles' entire character is designed to guard the Master Emerald. And they're constantly pulling him away from that, and I feel like it damages his character. And they know this, right? This is why they keep putting Amy as the brawn of the team instead of Knuckles. Because Knuckles has things to do. But I think it's more important with Metal Sonic how frequently he's kind of used now. And Alan Denton, so one of the head writers on Sonic Boom, in an interview talked about how they could have used Metal Sonic whenever they wanted. They had absolutely all the ability to, they just didn't. They used him, I think, twice, maybe. He might have been in both season finales, and then the one-off, It Wasn't Me, it was the something armed hedgehog. That's the title of an episode. But his point, and I totally agree with it, is that the less frequent you use a villain, the more impactful that villain becomes, right? Because you run the risk of him just becoming villain of the week. And I feel Metal Sonic has been slipping into that territory a lot. He's supposed to be this cold, silent killer who gets things done. Like, if he's sent on a mission, he doesn't fail. But now he just kind of goes, and then gets beat up, and that's kind of it. And it's like, oh, okay. Womp womp. Whatever. It'll be fine. So, the Babylon Rogues. So we have Jet the Hawk, Storm the Albatross, and Wave the Swallow. How should we start this? I'm going to pull up, and you guys can see. Eggman just used Metal Sonic because he has the frequency of the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald. What do you mean? Like, he can tap into their frequency, you mean? Unlike the other robots? Because, yeah, he can do that. I'm going to pull up now something a little different. I'm going to add up add a window capture here. Give just a second. Window capture 2. Let's put that here. He just has the power to do that. That's what I meant. Yeah, the power to tap into them. For sure, for sure. He can totally do that. I'm messing with OBS. That's why I look like I'm concentrating on nothing while staring at an unchanging screen. You guys can't see OBS like I can. Let me change this to PowerPoint, and I'm going to bring up the master PowerPoint. Oh yeah, I love this thing. So this is mine. I made this about 2 years ago. I'll pull it up now. Put that right there. Here we go. All right. This is the entire lore of the Sonic the Hedgehog universe in chronological order. I made this about 3 years ago. 3 now. And I have been updating it ever since. It's like, it is everything from the beginning of time to game 1. And it's very long. It takes like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 to go through. And that's without questions. I have given this thing at college before, like lectures. It's awesome, and I love it. So I'm going to go back, and I usually go back on this whenever I'm doing stuff for videos, because I have a bunch of pictures here and whatnot. The reason I made it, by the way, is because I love Sonic lore. Really do. And then my wife and I wanted to go read all of Archie, and I knew how big of an endeavor that was. It's like 500 plus, right? And that's just Archie. Archie Sonic, that is, because you still have like Mega Man, Street Fighter, and all the things that cross into it. Some of it's like Mega Man, you really do need to read to understand what's happening, so there's just a lot to go over. And I knew that by the time I was done with it, I would kind of forget a lot of what's canon versus what is Archie. So I made this giant list of just everything that I know, just dumped it all out. And I go back for reference all the time. So we're looking for the Babylon Rogues, and I believe should be around here. Yeah, here we are. All right. So this is just after the Gizoid stuff. We're talking about the Babylonians. Have any of you guys played Sonic Riders? I must admit I have never actually played, or at least I've touched it, but I haven't like played through the full game. I've definitely played the beginning of level of both Riders and Zero Gravity. I haven't touched Free Riders, never cared, right? I didn't have a Kinect. But that's that. Nope. Nope. Well, if you have a Wii, because I have, the reason that I have it is I think it's like, it's not exclusive to the GameCube, but it's played with a particular controller, and if you have a hacked Wii like with Homebrew, you can just get it. And the control mapping is all over the place, but it's playable, it's doable. That's how I did it for a while. I was at a sleepaway camp I worked at for a summer about 2 years back, and every break day for like 2 months I would just sit there and I'd play games in the hacked Wii, and that was one of them. No Wii. Ah. Do you have a Switch too? Do you have a Switch too? Can you play Mario Kart World? I love Mario Kart World. I think Mario Kart World looks fine. I know everyone's been like freaking out about it and the price and everything, and I agree. Too pricey. No bueno. Looks barren. Not a whole lot to do. Free roam is cool, but like there's nothing in it. But I'm very excited for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I won't be getting a Switch 2, but I'll definitely get it on PC. For sure, for sure. So let's start punching in info. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. So about 3,900 years ago, I forget exactly where I get this number. I could fact check. Let me do that. Babylonians. Sonic. I would have gotten that number from somewhere, but where did I get that number from? I'd like to check again because it has been years. History. Shrouded mystery, the original homeworld's unknown, highly advanced civilization in terms of technology, the Babylon traveled through space, an ancient spaceship known as the Babylon Garden, which was powered with the arcs of the cosmos, devices that harness the power of gravity. When they passed by the Earth in ancient past, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Odd. Okay. I don't know where I got that number from, and I'm not going to put it in a video until I can check it. So for the time being, let's not start with a time. I'll just start with a long time ago. You know what it might be? It might be just like that it said they were in the first, or the current great civilization. And since the Gaizoids kind of ended everything 4,000 years ago, that's why I picked just 100 years later, but I don't know. Until I can confirm that, moving on. So a long time ago, bibbidi bobbidi boop. I don't know what I'm saying. Just talking to myself. I'm new to this whole streaming thing, y'all. An alien race, like the Black Arms, arrived. But unlike the Black Arms, these guys did not come by choice. Babylonians did not come by choice. Their spaceship, the Astral Gardens, was powered by the Arcs of the Cosmos. The 5 Arcs of the Cosmos. Power sources malfunctioned and quickly became... It quickly gave the threat of becoming a black hole. Yeah. Nope. That's my stream code. You guys aren't supposed to see that. Teehee. It quickly gave the threat of becoming a black hole. If I can spell malfunctioned. I promise you I was an English teacher before. I swear. Now this is just straight from the wiki. But let's see if we can shorten it. There's the cosmos possess a magnetic field that allows them to take a mass. Ah, you know what? I probably shouldn't. Well, okay. I was initially thinking I shouldn't spend so much time talking about the Babylon Rogues history. I should talk about the Babylon Rogues, like the current ones. But there's nothing really to talk about. Jet likes to race Sonic as an occasional rival. Storm's an idiot, and Wave is a sassy mechanic. Aside from that, not a whole lot to say. So let's actually continue with the Babylon Rogue history, because I feel like it's more important. The Arcs of the Cosmos possess a magnetic field. I don't need to say the Arcs of the Cosmos again. They possess a magnetic field. Let me just say the Arcs. The Arcs possess a magnetic field that allows them to take a mass's energy and convert it into other forms of energy, making them a powerful energy source. Into other forms of energy, allowing them to manipulate gravity. Yes. Ah. ejected them. Let me actually clarify. As they passed by Earth. By the way, if you want a more in-depth look into the Babylon Rogues instead of watching the short, which, I mean, by all means, watch my short. But if you want more of an in-depth for not just the Babylon Rogues, but the Black Arms and the Wisps and every other alien, and there are a lot of aliens, like a lot more than you'd think, do go to my channel and check out the video that I released last year on Sonic Aliens. There's like 25 different alien species. And aside from the Babylon Rogues, which is just the bird characters, none of them have any relation to the animal people that make up the Sonic world, which I think is pretty weird. Anyway, the Babylon Rogues, the Babylonians ejected them into orbit so they would be too far apart to cause magnetic field damage, and so no one would use them for their own purposes. I will dock this just because unnecessary. Ejected them so they'd be too far. Babylonians landed the Astral Gardens. Started to build the Babylon Gardens. Started to build Babylon Gardens. Surrounding it. Any of you guys have to do like Wonders of the Ancient World in 6th grade history, if you lived in America anyway, and learned about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? Because I did. What a lot of Sonic fans don't know about the Babylonians is like, the Babylonians, like the real world Babylonians, are not good guys. No? Alright. Well, I sure did a lot of stuff about the Euphrates River and other stuff. What do you mean, no, Tune? As in, like, you're being flooded back with terrible memories, or you just didn't learn about it? Yes, okay. And by yes, I assume you mean you just didn't learn about it. The Babylonians landed the Astral Gardens, started to build the Babylon Gardens surrounding it. New paragraph. It's a new paragraph, so I feel like I should say the Babylonians again. It's just a lot to say for a 60-second short brimming with info. The Babylonians were thieves. And the best at it. They even had a specialized group called the oh my god. They even had a specialized group. They even had a specialized group called the Babylonian Rogues. Let's just say they made a specialized group called the Babylon Rogues. Which is still successful team today, swapping out each generation. Each generation. Have any of you guys read the Archie comics? And I will tell you why I ask once I hear your answers. Yes. Okay, Tune. So, I love the Battlebird Armada and how they handled that in Archie. I think it's just so typical of Archie's phenomenal world building. All the bird characters, like, they have this ability to give them backstories, whereas they otherwise wouldn't. And it's not just the Babylon Rogues, right? You have all the original characters from the Battlebird Armada itself. You have that one bird dude from the Destructics. You have Bean from the Hooligans. All these different guys ancestrally just have ties back to this organization. It handled it so well. And that's why Treasure Team Tango is one of my favorite miniseries of all of Archie, just because you have the Babylon Rogues and Bean just doing shenanigans, and they get to talk about stuff involving the Armada. It's great. Good game, you. I'm assuming you meant to spell Archie Comics and not autocorrect to Architect Comments. Archie's good. Archie's really great. I honestly would prefer it over IDW. I am glad IDW is canon. Kinda, sorta. Again, I'll talk about that in my hot takes video. But I think more people should read Archie. It's just hard to get a hold of because it's not really sold anywhere, right? You kind of have to pirate it. It's like one of those situations like how Warner Bros. Keeps removing all of its products from Max, and there's legitimately just no way to watch certain shows unless you pirate it. Archie's kind of the same way. Unless you own physical issues or you go to like an actual comic book store and get an individual issue, out of order of course, for like $60 because they're ancient, you're not reading them. So while I don't support piracy per se, I'd still rather you read them. And there are a bunch of ways to find them online, so if you can, go ahead. Yeah, it starts off rough, but you really should read from the beginning. My main issue is that, like, whenever I see on YouTube polls or on Twitter, and there's a poll of which is better, IDW or Archie, IDW is going to win every single time. But that's not because it's inherently better, that's because no one has read Archie anymore. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, I haven't read Archie, but I like IDW, click. So IDW just like always will win a popularity contest, but I swear it's not better. It's good, don't get me wrong, I like IDW a lot. I think it's done phenomenal things. Metal Virus Arc is probably as good as anything in Archie has ever been. Can you go to a comment website and read it there? Yes. So what I usually use is quite literally just readcomiconline.ly. And then you can punch in Sonic 2018 because that's just the year it came out, or just Sonic regularly if you want to just see all the Sonic things. Oh, sorry, 2018 will take you to IDW, which is this one. 1993 is the tag you want to use if you want to go to Archie, which is somewhere here. Where's this thing? This one. This one right here. Now, that being said, there's a lot of stuff here. Most of it's Archie. And you do have to read it in order, which can get really confusing because you're bouncing all over the place. Just go ahead and Google Archie reading order, and you'll have it set. That being said, I should do that. Because I used, like, I'll look it up right now for the sake of argument. Archie reading order. Yeah, this one. This is the one that everyone goes to. It's the one that I went to. And it takes you through everything. That being said, I did this, and I found a few mistakes. So I should probably contact this guy if I'm able to. Yeah. Just to have him move some things slightly around. Whatever. Back to the Babylon Rogues. So the 13th Babylon Rogue leader. I'll just say the 13th generation leader. Generation leader Stolen. What a name for a thief. Stolen. I mean, as if, like, any of the Sonic names aren't just blatantly obvious for what they do. Watched over the invention of what he believed to be their most important invention to date, a personal mode of transportation via levitations technology, aka the flying carpet. Yeah. In the modern day, Hovertech has gotten really good. Has advanced. Extreme gear, baby. Again, I promise I can spell. Hovertech has advanced to the point where extreme gear can be found in large cities. Think what Dubai is. Nah, just large cities is fine. I'll say can be commonly found. Writers did this weird thing where it added a town, a city I should say. I think it was called Megalo City. And it's like entirely flying cars. Which is just wild compared to all the world building they have right up until that point. It's like they're flying cars. We have hover technology. Why isn't that so widespread? What? But I guess it's not that hard to believe. I mean, we got tons of cities. Again, Dubai, right in the Middle East, where people commonly have Lamborghinis. The police officers there genuinely do use hover cars. That's like a thing. It's not Sonic hover cars. It's like powered by propellers and air. But if I remember correctly, that's normal there. Now I live in South Florida, so it's a fairly metropolitan area in this around me. I mean, I'm in the suburbs, but whatever. It's like 10-minute drive, then I'm in the city. So whenever I go back to where I am from, which is Vidalia, Georgia, very small town, the middle of nowhere, I'm like, I can't even get a Starbucks. So I guess it's not that big a deal. All in all, they've added hover tech to a world that very clearly did not have that before. Hmm. Jet the Hawk is always trying to find the key to the Babylon Gardens. What happened to the Babylon Gardens? Because they used the key to the Babylon Gardens to, like, pull it out of sand ruins. But then what? Let's take a little dive at history, shall we? Trivia. Yes, in the real world, the Babylonians were an ancient empire centered around the city of Babylon. Located in present-day Iraq, it lasted around from 1800 BC to 539 BC when it was subsumed into the Persian Empire. And they persecuted a lot of Christians. They went out of their way to kill as many as possible. They're not the good guys, that's all I'm saying. In Sonic Rush Adventure, where Sonic, Tails, Blaze, and Marine are exploring the Sea of Blazes world, a reality parallel to Sonic's dimension, several hints can be found to an ancient one like the Babylonians. Foremost proof is a lost floating city named Sky Babylon, which is hidden underground due to it falling from the heavens. So, like, an Earth version of Atlantis? Neat. Yeah, let's go to Sonic Riders. X World Grand Prix. Sonic, look out! Too much Snapcube. I can't look at any of the Riders games without thinking of Snapcube. Chad challenges Sonic to a final race but loses because he's a loser. He was hostage. Text segment. Here's the key to Babylon card. Babylon Rose used the key to open the door, so summoning the Babylon Guardian in the process. Which, admittedly, isn't really a genie. He looks like a genie. But he isn't. He's just a hologram. Filling the Babylon treasure Eggman had wanted. Her the treasure turns out to be a magic carpet. Eggman's disappointed with the result of the Babylon Parkways. Yeah, but like, what happens? Do they just leave it there? I gotta look at the Sonic Riders cutscenes now. So, you are. apparently. So they just leave it there.
So, you're leaving this place? Yeah, the back of the carpet has more words of wisdom. It says, this was invented to allow Babylonians to travel all over the world to gather treasure. Some things never change, huh? But enough of this friendly banter, Sonic. You better make sure you're ready when we meet face to face once again. You bet.
Come on, Jet, it's time to split.
Smack.
We should split too, right?
Yeah.
Sonic Riders! Catch me if you can. What? Alright, so they just fucking leave it there. Okay. Good to know, I guess. Frequently. Yes, not frequently. Current leader Jet the Hawk and team, frequently. I'll say buttheads. Another alien race arrived. The Babylonians were ancient in origin. Blech. I didn't get a good sleep last night, y'all. Could not sleep. And this morning I woke up super early because my roof was getting redone. So there's just like a bunch of nails going through my ceiling. And I was like, ugh, let me sleep. Current leader Jet the Hawk and team frequently butt heads with Team Sonic. Current leader Jet the Hawk. Current leader Jet the Hawk and his team continue their lineages. Quest for riches. Making plenty of enemies along the way. That's good. I like the script. Alright. That's that. Cool. Cool. In that case, we're going to boot up Filmora and get recording. Now, I don't know how well recording will work if I'm also streaming. So we're going to find out. Let me try. Let me throw OBS over to a different thing now. Let me window capture. I'll name it Filmora. Behold, Filmora. If Filmora wants to work. Hello? Oh, yeah, okay. There it is. Cool. So I'm going to stop the music now so we can test audio. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work. Hopefully it will work well. But first, let's go ahead and make this portrait. Okay. Add in our block of text. Who the heck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I don't know if I did that 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Anyway, question mark. Add that, change that to 96, move down to Bebas, and then center. Now you can save this as Babylon Rogues. And now we can move on to recording. Ooh, recording. Look at that. And it works. It seems to work just fine. That's great. Phenomenal. Okay, so let's go ahead and record this, shall we? Who the heck are the Babylon Rogues, anyway? You know, I did that by instinct. But it is a who the heck are, isn't it? Not an is, but who are? Oh, wait. Sorry. Not who our heck is. Who the heck are? There we go. Alright. Man. Alright. Who the heck are the Babylon rogues, anyway? A long time ago, another alien race arrived. The Babylonian were avian in origin, and less... Blah, blah, blah. It does take a few takes. It comes to a point where, like, I'll make enough mistakes that it would be faster just to re-record than to cut out all those mistakes. Also, I'm lazy, so I just start from the beginning each time. Who the heck are the Babylon rogues, anyway? A long time ago, another alien race arrived. The Babylonians were avian in origin, and thus many of the birds on Earth can find their ancestry leading back to them. But unlike the Black Arms, the Babylonians did not come by choice. Their spaceship, the Astral Gardens, was powered by 5 arcs of the cosmos. As they passed by Earth, their power sources malfunctioned, quickly gave the threat of becoming a black hole. The arcs possess a magnetic field that allowed them to take a mass's energy and convert it into other forms of energy, allowing them to manipulate gravity. The Babylonians ejected them into orbit so they would be too far apart to cause magnetic field damage. The Babylonians landed the Astral Gardens and started to build the Babylon Gardens surrounding it. The Babylonians were thieves and the best at it. They made a specialized group called the Babylon Rogues, which is still a successful team today, swapping out members each generation. 13th generation leader Stolen watched over the invention of what he believed to be their most important invention to date, a personal mode of transportation via levitations technology, aka the flying carpet. In the modern day, hovertech has advanced to the point where extreme gear can be commonly found in large cities. Current leader Jet the Hawk and his team continue their lineage's quest of riches, making plenty of enemies along the way. Bam. 115. Okay, so once we remove all the downtime between sentences, that might still be over a minute, so we might have to blot out text. And I hate to say it, but it'll probably be the avian thing. Like, it's super cool that they're birds, but doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, narratively, it doesn't really affect them at all. Distribution that occurs. Okay. You and my goods served me as more sleep tonight. Take a break tomorrow. What? Good game, you. I don't know what that means. Oh. You mean you deserve more sleep tonight? Are you using text-to-speech? I feel like that might be what you're doing. Regardless, I'd love to, but I got shorts to make. Tell you what, though, when I get to the point where I'm done with the main series and I move on to IDW, I am almost definitely going to start making shorts every other day instead of every day. Because as it is right now, I do not have any time to like make the long form stuff. And that's why I'm still working on the script for the hot takes video. Because I'm like, I don't have time to work on it. I mean, I don't even have the rest of the day. I do kickboxing. And that's at 6? Yeah, that's at 6. So I'm going to finish, if I can finish, this. And then I will move directly there, and then I'll come back and I'll probably unwind for the rest of the evening. Yeah. Okay. So that's all of that. I'm going to put on my headphones to hear my own voice over and over, because the last thing you guys need is to hear more of me than you already are. So we're going to bump that up. That sounds great. We'll zoom in a little bit. What are we looking at here? We're still looking at Filmora. That's cool. Now what I like to do in making my videos is put down pat the opening. So let's go grab the Babylon Rogues, just a picture of them. That is a... as fine as any. Again, you guys can't see my screen, I'm aware. Here we go, you just slap that down. Who are the Babylon Rogues anyway? So I'm gonna squash them ever so slightly to fit in there. What the heck? Center. Be centered. There we go. I'm gonna make that a little bigger. A little bigger. That's good. Who the heck are the Babylon Rogues anyway? And yes, I am also using text to speech. Okay. Or speech to text. Probably is. So we're going to go right here. Then we're going to go 1 unit back. Whatever these units up here are. I think they're 12ths of a second. Probably 16ths of a second. Who the hell are the Babylon Rogues anyway? Oh, you know what? I can give you guys back music now. Probably. Whoa. This is so weird. Wait, I've never seen this happen before. What? Okay, I have what you guys see on my right. My mouse has just disappeared. You guys can see it on your screen, I think. It's gone for me. That's not good. Oh no. That's so weird. What the heck? Okay, I hate to say it, guys, but at the end of the day, this was kind of just a test to make sure that I could get YouTube Live working, and I have. So mission successful. But I think I'm going to have to quit off of the live stream now, just because things are starting to go on the fritz, and I might have to restart my computer to get that working again. Tisk. So, sorry, Tune. I can't work if I can't see where my own mouse is. I'm swapping between tabs with Alt Tab, but aside from that, there's not a whole lot I can really do. Yeesh. Alright, well, it was good seeing you guys. Tell you what, another thing. So I'm an artist. For those who don't know, I am legitimately an artist. I have some work just that I can pull up off the top of my head. I have an entire game, actually. I should really link my portfolio in my YouTube thing. But I'm a game developer and an artist. I don't just make videos. I'm a 2D generalist, so I make content of all kinds. What's my favorite Sonic work? Look at this painting. I painted that. Oh yeah. There's all sorts of stuff like this all over my stuff. I like anime too, so I have a lot of anime stuff. I love the stream. I hope to see another one soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good game, you. My point is, long story short, I wanted to start doing art streams as well on here, so I will definitely be doing those. Not bad art either. Very good art. Thank you. Thank you. I do really want to do some art streams, and those will look awesome when I finally figure out how to add a bunch of things to YouTube. Probably use Streamlabs. Again, I have that set up on Twitch. I just don't have it set up here on YouTube. And then when that's done, yeah, so I don't really think I need to explain myself when it comes to AI generation. I don't like it. AI generation bad. And so on that topic, I have generated, or at least found, a bunch of different like Sonic characters generated, and it's horrible. It's just like horrendous, very bad, terrible Sonic characters made by AI. And I want to go back and prove that man is still better than machine and draw them myself. So that'll be a very fun stream where we laugh at the goofiness of AI art and how much better we can make it with my hands. So, you know, stuff for the future. If you see me streaming, which I'll probably put out a post further in advance this time than today's. Today was kind of on a whim. Of a certain date, like an evening that I want to do that. And then you can let your friends know, I guess, that we're doing an art stream and join whenever. All right. That's pretty much all I have for the time being. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. All right. See ya.